10. Jimi Hendrix's red Fender Mustang. Although famous for his love of Stratocasters, Hendrix was also partial to a Mustang and used a red 1966 model extensively during the recording of the albums Access Bold as Love and Electric Ladyland. In 2007, this guitar brought $480,000 at the Music Rising's Icons of Music's charity auction, which was held in New York. This was organized to raise funds for New Orleans musicians who had lost their instruments during Hurricane Katrina. 9. Jimi Hendrix's burnt 1965 Fender Stratocaster. Jimi's fondness for Strats never got in the way of his showmanship, with several models ending up in flames during performances. A 1965 Fender Stratocaster was the first to be sacrificed to the spirits of rock and roll in 1967 at the Finsbury Astoria in North London. The burnt remnants of this guitar were later sold at a Fame Bureau auction in September of 2007 for a price of $495,292. 8. Eric Clapton's Brownie 1956 Fender Stratocaster. One of Clapton's favorite guitars, this 1956 Fender model, which was nicknamed Brownie, was used during the entire recordings of the classic 1970 Derek and the Dominoes album, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs. It was sold during an auction held by Christie's in New York in June 1999 to raise funds for Clapton's Crossroads Center charity for a price of $497,500. 7. George Harrison's 1964 Gibson SG. This cherry 1964 Gibson SG standard guitar was owned and played extensively by Harrison from 1966 until 1969, including the Beatles' last official British gig at the NME Poll Winners concert. It was also played by both Harrison and John Lennon during the recordings of the White Album and Revolver, and it was sold at a Christie's auction in December of 2004 for a price of $567,500. 6. Stevie Ray Vaughan's Lenny Fender Stratocaster. The only guitar of Vaughan's to ever appear for a sale after his tragic death in 1990. This 1965 composite Fender Stratocaster was one of his favorite models, named Lenny after his first wife, and it was marked with the SRV sticker, which graced all of Vaughan's guitars. This model sold at Eric Clapton's Crossroads charity auction at Christie's in New York in June of 2004 for a price of $623,500. 5. Eric Clapton's 1939 Martin acoustic guitar. Clapton's 1992 album, Eric Clapton Unplugged, remains one of the most iconic and best-selling records of his career, with sales over 10 million copies. Recorded for the MTV Unplugged series, the performance heavily featured Clapton's pre-war 1939 Martin 000-42 guitar. In June of 2004, this guitar was sold at the same Crossroads guitar auction in New York for a price of $791,500. 4. Eric Clapton's 1964 Gibson. This 1964 ES-335 TDC Gibson guitar is the most expensive Gibson guitar ever sold at auction. Clapton owned and played this guitar for over 30 years during his career with the Yardbirds, Cream, John Mayall's Blues Breakers, Blind Faith, and as a solo artist. Ever present with Clapton at recording sessions for more than 25 years, the guitar was also reserved for classic blues numbers on stage. It was sold at the 2004 Crossroads Guitar Charity Auction for a price of $847,500. 3. Eric Clapton's Blackie Stratocaster. Blackie is Clapton's most famous guitar, which he used for both live performances and recording sessions from 1973 until 1985, claiming, "I feel that this guitar has become a part of me." Clapton eventually retired the model in 1985 in favor of the newly designed Eric Clapton Signature Stratocaster. This legendary instrument is one of the few guitars to be known by its nickname alone. It was sold at the Crossroads Charity Guitar Auction at Christie's in 2004 for a price of $959,500. 2. Jimi Hendrix's Woodstock 1968 Stratocaster. Hendrix's most iconic appearance came at Woodstock in August 1969 when he performed a legendary version of the Star-Spangled Banner using his white 1968 Fender Stratocaster. The guitar was first sold during a Sotheby's auction in 1990 for a then record price of £198,000 to an Italian collector, Gabriele Anceloni. Anceloni then later sold the guitar to the Microsoft co-founder and renowned Hendrix collector Paul Allen in 1993. In a private sale, it was believed to be worth $1.3 million. Today, the guitar takes the pride of place at the Experience Music Project in Seattle. 1. The Reach Out to Asia signed Fender Stratocaster. The world's most expensive guitar may not have a famous history, but it probably has the most signatures. The Fender Stratocaster was donated to the Reach Out to Asia charity auction held in 2005 to help the victims of the Asian tsunami, featuring the signatures of rock and roll royalty including Keith Richards, Eric Clapton, Pete Townsend, Jeff Beck, Brian May, Paul McCartney, and many others. It eventually sold for a price of $2.7 million. If you like these top 10 videos, please like, comment, and share. Submit your thoughts in the comment section and we may use your idea for our next video.